Title: For reference, screen time isn't the real problem, it's this. What if I told you that the amount of time your kids spend glued to screens isn't the real culprit keeping parents up at night? I'm not talking about tablets, phones, or even those cartoons your little one binges daily. The truth is, many parents who enforce strict screen time limits still find themselves grappling with children who struggle with anxiety, managing their emotions, and feeling genuinely connected. So, if screens aren't the core issue, what is? Let's dive into an aspect of parenting that's rarely discussed, the elephant in the room, if you will. For years, parents have been bombarded with the same warning. Too much screen time will fry your child's brain. And yes, excessive and unsupervised screen use can negatively impact attention spans, sleep patterns, and overall behavior. That's a given. But here's what the latest science is increasingly proving. Screens themselves aren't as damaging to children as the valuable experiences they displace. The real problem isn't the screens. It's the erosion of human connection. A child's brain doesn't primarily thrive on information intake alone. It flourishes through interaction, through the simple act of eye contact, through recognizing nuances in tone of voice, through shared moments of undivided attention, through the profound experience of being emotionally seen and understood. When a child stares at a screen, they receive a flood of stimulation, vibrant colors, catchy sounds, captivating stories. But when a child engages with a caring adult, they receive something far more profound and essential. Co-regulation. Co-regulation is the process by which a child learns to navigate and manage their emotions, initially by experiencing them in the presence of a supportive human being. It's like emotional scaffolding. When a baby cries out and a parent responds with calmness and reassurance, the child's nervous system begins to associate emotions with safety. When a toddler is visibly frustrated and a parent acknowledges their feelings by saying, "You're upset. I see you," the child starts to develop an emotional vocabulary. When a child feels overwhelmed by big emotions and a parent remains present and grounded, the child's brain learns the invaluable skill of self-soothing. No app can replicate that. No video can truly replace that profound human exchange. The problem starts when screens subtly creep in and take over those precious moments where meaningful connection should be blossoming. Those seemingly insignificant moments like mealtime conversations around the table, car rides filled with chatter and laughter, waiting in line at the grocery store, the quiet time before bedtime, the after-school debrief. These small moments might appear trivial on the surface, but they're the very breeding ground for emotional development. Many parents turn to screens, not out of a lack of caring, but because they're running on empty. They feel overwhelmed by the demands of modern life. They are overstimulated themselves. They're simply trying to make it through the day. And screens offer a temporary sense of relief. A much-needed break. A moment of blessed quiet. A pause button on the chaos. This doesn't make parents weak or inadequate. It simply makes them human. But when screens become the default coping mechanism for both children and adults, a subtle but significant shift occurs. Children begin to miss out on opportunities to embrace boredom. And boredom isn't a dangerous state to be avoided. Boredom is the fertile ground where creativity takes root. It's where imagination blossoms and expands. It's where the seeds of problem-solving are sown. Without experiencing boredom, children don't develop the capacity to sit with discomfort, to tolerate that feeling of "I have nothing to do." And without mastering that vital skill, the development of emotional resilience is stunted. Another often overlooked issue is emotional avoidance. When a child feels sadness, anger, or frustration and a screen is immediately presented as a distraction, the underlying message they receive is crystal clear. Your feelings need to go away. They are unwelcome. Not intentionally, of course. Not cruelly or maliciously, but subtly, almost imperceptibly. Over time, children stop learning how to effectively process their emotions and start learning how to suppress or escape them altogether. This is often where anxiety takes hold and begins to fester. Research overwhelmingly shows that children don't need perfect parents. They need present parents. Even brief moments of focused attention, 5 or 10 minutes of undistracted interaction, can have a profound and lasting impact on a child's emotional well-being. What matters most isn't the quantity of time you have available. It's the quality of your presence during the time you do have. So, what does healthy screen use actually look like in practice? It doesn't mean imposing a complete and total screen ban. That's often unrealistic and unsustainable. It means using screens intentionally and mindfully, not automatically or reactively. Screens should enhance and support life, not replace it altogether. They can be valuable tools for learning. They can provide entertainment and relaxation. They can even be educational resources. But they should never become default emotional babysitters. Here are a few simple shifts that can make a world of difference. Instead of reflexively handing your child a screen the moment they become upset, pause, connect with them first. Acknowledge their feelings. Instead of having background screens running during mealtimes, introduce a conversation starter question to encourage family interaction. Instead of passively scrolling on your phone beside your child, sit with them, even if it's just in comfortable silence. Your presence speaks volumes. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by guilt, cultivate awareness of your own screen habits and their impact. Awareness is the catalyst for change. And here's something parents rarely hear. Children don't need constant stimulation to thrive. They need emotional safety and security. They need to know that someone is reliably there for them. Someone who genuinely listens without judgment. Someone who notices their cues and signals. Someone who responds with empathy and understanding. That's the foundation of secure attachment. And secure attachment, in turn, fosters confidence, empathy, and resilience later in life. Screens didn't create this problem out of thin air. Modern life did, with its inherent pressures and demands. Fast-paced schedules, constant digital noise, emotionally and physically burned-out adults. Screens simply filled a void, offering a quick and convenient solution. But the answer isn't to succumb to fear and panic. The solution is connection, authentic, meaningful human connection. If you take away one key message from this, let it be this. It's not about minimizing your child's screen time at all costs. It's about maximizing the amount of you they get. Your voice, your undivided attention, your loving presence. Those are the irreplaceable elements that no screen can ever replicate. You don't need to strive for perfection. You simply need to be present, often enough. And that is more than enough.